Well, good morning. I'm covering the microphone. Sorry. 16th of March, 2022. It's 7:06 a.m. Got to clear my throat. And my alarm clock got me up this morning. Thank you, Flynn. Came in at 6:30 and jumped up on me and licked my face. Not that I enjoy that, but that's how he gets me up. That's how he wakes me up. So I got the spikes on the shoes this morning because it's 27 degrees and had a slight dusting of snow overnight. Squirrels yelling at us. Like, come on. Last night when Flynn and I went out for our final walk, he stopped just north of the driveway. It's about 100 feet north of the regular driveway, across from what we call our North Drive. It's just a clearing, grassy area. And he stood on top of a mountain of snow, just gazing into, well, that's slippery, gazing into the woods. So I stood there with him, listening. I didn't hear anything, but I did see two partridge walking in amongst the trees. Stood there and watched them until they disappeared into the woods. Good to see him. Can't wait for October to come around. So yesterday, I was talking about, if you watch my video, I talked about the IRS supposedly being understaffed and how I got my tax return from the state of Maine, which was filed the same exact day as my federal return, electronically filed. And can't remember when I got the Maine refund. I guess it was almost a week ago. And I said I didn't know when I would get the federal return. And wouldn't you know it, got back in the house and my wife says that she got the daily email from the post office showing there'd be a check from the federal government, which surprised me. And I was wondering, since both the federal and the Maine were filed for putting the refund directly into my checking account rather than a check, I was curious as to why they were sending me a check. So later, when I got the mail, I opened it to see it was not the return for 2021 tax season, but for an adjustment for 2020 tax season. And it was a tiny amount. It was $2 dollars plus interest. And I don't know where they get their interest rate from, but it was a lot of interest for the amount of the adjustment. And the weird thing was, on the back of the envelope, it was an advertisement for using direct deposit. Now, in 2020, I got a refund, and that refund was directly deposited into the same checking account. So why issue a check and put the check in the postal service when you already did direct deposit of the actual refund from 2020? My accountant didn't know what it was. The envelope only had the check. No explanation. Just a check. Now, granted, you know, I like getting checks. It would have been nice though if they told me what it was for. This is the area where the partridge were walking around back there, 100 feet back in the woods. You had to really stand for a while and see them bobbing around. They've been a strange walk, but it's clearly a partridge. Right, buddy? Flynn. Flynn. Did you see the partridge yesterday? Did you see the partridge? Yes? The squirrel is not here this morning. Probably out getting food. I had made apple and raisin muffins last week, and my wife liked those better than the, not better, but she enjoys those a little bit more than the blueberry, because I tend to load the blueberries up to where it's more blueberry than muffin, and she likes less blueberry and more muffin. So the apple actually melts in the cooking process, so you have an apple flavor. And I don't know where the raisins go to, but the raisins disappear too. You might find one in a muffin. I put half a couple of raisins in the 6 muffins. Half a couple of raisins in the 6 muffins, so you should be able to see some. I was going to take the other camera this morning, but the battery dies on that too quick. And I have a jury rig system where I take one of those external battery packs connected by a USB. It keeps it powered up, but there's no way I was going to be able to hold the camera, the battery pack, and the wire, and be able to switch hands if I have to and walk Flynn. So we're back to the Legacy GoPro. On a different issue, topic, whatever. Yeah, I know. Went out to the barn yesterday and aired up the new tires, and they aired up fine, but they didn't seat all the way to the bead. But they're holding there. I didn't want to. They run 7 pounds of pressure. Put them up to 14 pounds to try and set the bead, and the tire wouldn't move anymore on the wheel, so I don't want to blow them up. I had both cameras out there, the new one with the battery pack, and this one trying to make a video of getting the tires up mountain, but I hadn't charged the Legacy GoPro, even though it has a new battery, and that died after a while. And the Chinese knockoff camera created several videos. I don't know why I created several, because I turned off the I guess they call it a rotating video, where you can have it set for 1, 3, or 5 minutes. It's called a looping video. So it'll create videos and stop after 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes. There's the cow this morning. But I turned that off, but it was still creating multiple videos. And even though the cameras were positioned in a somewhat good place, me walking around, you couldn't hear what I was saying. These cameras have tiny pinholes. This one I'm holding in my hand right now has two microphones that consist of 3 tiny pinholes. If you're not standing right by the camera, you're not going to get any recorded audio. So even though I had lots and lots of video, nothing really worth spending the time editing and uploading to YouTube. I have to see what other bloggers use in the way of a camera. I noticed that Vice Grip Garage, he had a little plastic clip where you button your shirt. So I'm sure he had a microphone clipped there under the shirt so he could walk all around away from the camera and have his voice recorded on the video. I don't know if I'll get up to where the moose was yesterday. The moose prints. I didn't see the moose. Today is Social Security Day for me. My birthday is the 13th of the month, so on the 3rd Wednesday of the month is when I get my check. My brother is 22nd of the month, so he waits till the 4th Wednesday of the month. Brother Tom is the 2nd of the month, so when he gets, well, he'll get railroad retirement and not Social Security. I assume he's going to get that, like my wife. My wife is the 4th. He'll get his on the 2nd Wednesday of the month. So, the point to that is, on Social Security Day, you tried to stay away from going to town to shop, because anybody who got Social Security is going to go to the store and buy you groceries. So, I'm not going to town anytime soon. The wife is going to take a trip down to Bangor tomorrow. Her and her girlfriend up the street. Going to go on a little shopping trip. They typically spend all day driving down, shopping, driving back. Anything, bud? I forgot to turn the glove on. No, it's on. I was wondering why the right hand was cold. The left hand was fine. Anything, bud? Nothing? I don't see anything. I think my brother Tom's place Runs right down to the tree line here, but he's, oh, you're probably not going to be able to see it, but there's poles down there with X's on them. That's be a little more than a quarter. It's more than a quarter mile. But his property runs right up to the tree line here. Oh, come on, buddy, over here. There used to be a guide wire spike in the ground here. That had been ripped off at some point by a plow. I came up one day and unbolted the top of it. I don't know how far down those things go on the ground, but they don't move. There was no point in having the bolts and the whatever that looping thing is that they use sit there forever. Ground hasn't turned to mud yet. Let's see if I can switch hands here. Flynn, wait. I have to switch hands. All right. So I, having mounted the tires the other day and aired them up yesterday, the tires I took off, I looked at the wheels. I mean, they'll work, but they're all beat to hell. I mean, 20, 26, 27 years. So I went back and I ordered 2 more new wheels just to lessen the pain of trying to get new tires on a Gator. Because taking old wheels off, you got to break the bead, and then after you break the bead, you got to get that tire off the rim, which is a pain in the ass. I've taken tires off rims, and I typically do it by taking my big tractor with the front loader bucket and use the bucket edge to press the tire off the rim. That's the first step. The second step is actually using the tire spoons to get the tire off. And even with the tractor front loader bucket, you have to position that just right, and the tire and the wheel move. Then we're not going any further. Let's go over here, look, see if there's any more moose tracks. I don't think so. I think it's just the ones from yesterday. Flynn, let's go. No? So anyway, spent another $191, whatever it was, just to lessen the aggravation. So I can't remember how long it took to get the other wheels in, but there's no real rush. Flynn's ready. He'll make his morning deposit. No. Yes, no, yes, yes. And I didn't check to see when the carburetor was coming in. Not that I need the carburetor right away, but it was cheap enough, less than $20. Yep. He's doing his Hunter Biden impression again, snorting the white stuff on the ground and then clearing his nose. Little breeze coming from the south, not too bad. I wear the watch my daughter gave me overnight, so when I wake up in the morning it tells me my heart rate overnight. And this morning it had been down to 58, which is nice. Resting heart rate 58 is good. When I walked around making the coffee and putting Flynn's water and food and treats out, it had gotten up to 80 beats per minute. Come on, Flynn. You took care of business. Now I want my coffee. Somebody stopped to have lunch and they threw the shit out here. I think it's supposed to get to the 50s today. Which means all this will turn to mud. Using my iPad last night. An advertisement came up on Facebook for a DK Power chipper shredder, and it looked like a really big one. Portable, rolled, had 4 wheels, trailer hitch. Said it was had DOT tires on it so you could tow it on the road. And you had to assemble it yourself. I guess it comes in on pallets. But the hopper on the thing took 2 guys to lift it up and put it on the chassis part. So I have to go look to see what the specs on that were it said it did 6.5-inch sticks for trees. Which I'd like to have something that big. Not that I wouldn't be chipping up 6.5-inch trees because that's good burning stuff. I burn stuff that's less than, I guess, 1.5 to 2 inches. Not pine though. Not pine, spruce or fir. I won't burn that. Come on, Flynn. Flynn. But I'd just like to have something big enough to chip up the pine, spruce, and fir branches that I take off the lower 6 feet of a tree to make my park-like settings there in the ground. I like to keep the lower portion of the trees trimmed up so I can get in close with the zero-turn mowers. Cut up there. Keep down this if you look over here, all this red tinge stuff. That just, you can see, it just overruns the place. And if you try to walk through there, it's going to trip you up. The root system just runs along the top of the ground. Just high enough to trip you up. And you can't rip the crap out of the ground either. It's pretty strong. The bush hog on the tractors, there's a number on it. It does a good job. I put up a section of property down on the North Drive over here. It always bothered me. I got my tractor stuck in there one time trying to drive through clearing it up, but I didn't see that there were deep ruts. I high-sided the chassis of the tractor. The wheels were up in the air, and had to actually leave it there overnight because I couldn't get it free. So the next day I went back with my wife and blocks of wood and jacks. Jacked the tractor up a little bit, got some dirt and rocks underneath the tires to be able to drive it out. Actually, that's the only time I think Rita drove the tractor. Kevin White's got a nice field over here. Call this red weed out of here. And be able to plant some corn or some beans. Not sure how well beans do here. Not sure if the growing season is long enough. Although the millennial farmer does beans up in Minnesota. Is it Minnesota? Have to look. I'd like to be able to grow some corn or something. Come on, Flynn. It's time for coffee. Oh boy. Yeah, it's almost bare down there. Right to the left of those bare spots where I cleared out a bunch of that red stuff. see by the flag, there's not a lot of wind this morning. There is some. Pothole season. I don't know why this section of the road always gets potholes. It's the highest point, but yet always potholes. It's not like there's water running across or anything. I tried a couple times with the tractor and the front loaded bucket to go up and scrape it in the house. Flynn, come on, in the house. So I'll have blueberry muffin this morning. Really picked up quarter or half gallon milk at Smith's yesterday. I'll make some rolls. Down to only 2 rolls in the freezer. Maybe I'll make those tomorrow when she's out shopping. Maybe I'll take a run around to the cameras and put new batteries in, because the last time I was out to the cameras, the batteries were almost dead. One of them was dead. I replaced the batteries, but that one goes dead in 2 weeks anyway. Don't know what it is with that camera. Oh. Squirrel. What is he playing? I don't see him. Normally I can see him, but I can't see him this morning. Where is he, Flynn? Squirrel. Alright, let's look for that. Yeah. Looks like the wife is still in bed. She normally pulls the shade up. Let light in the bedroom. And she gets up, but not this morning. So that's it. Thanks for watching.